Alright, this video is an answer key for geometric proof practice A. Let's get started. Write the letter of the correct justification next to each step. Use one justification twice. Given, ray HJ is the bisector of angle IHK and angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. So when you read the given, you want to make sure that you understand it, and you also label any information that they have given you on the diagram that they have provided. So let's look at the given and make sure that we really understand what it is saying. So ray HJ is the bisector of angle IHK. So angle IHK. They're telling us that ray HJ is the bisector of IHK. So since it's bisecting the bigger angle, that means that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Remember, a bisector cuts an angle in half, and it also cuts a line segment in half. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 because of the definition of a bisector. So that was our first bit of information. Our second bit of information that was given to us was that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Okay, so now we understand what they have given us. Let's try to justify it and work through this proof. So angle number 1, ray HJ is the bisector of angle IHK. Well, I boxed it in right here in the given, so that is given. So you can say given, or you can just write the letter B. Alright, number 2. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 1. Alright, so again, we know that because ray HJ bisected the larger angle, which meant that angle 1 was congruent to angle 2, and again, that was the definition of a bisector. So since I don't have enough room to write it, I'm just going to write the letter A. Number 3, angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Well, if I go back up to my given, I've boxed in the exact same statement. So since that's a given, we're going to write the letter B. Number 4, angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. Now, they told us that angle 1 was congruent to angle 3. We also knew that ray HJ bisected the larger angle, which meant that 1 was congruent to 2. So since 1 is congruent to 2 and 1 is congruent to 3, then we can assume that angle 2 is congruent to angle 3 because of the transitive property of congruency, and that is letter C. So number 5, in a 2-column proof, each step in the proof is on the left, and the reason for the step is on the right. Right? Let's move on to the next question. Alright, so the next question says, fill in the blanks with the justifications and steps listed to complete the 2-column proof. Use this list to complete the proof. Alright, so we're going to use this list right here to fill in the blanks for the proof. Alright, so that's kind of like our answer bank. Alright, so in our answer bank we have angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, the definition of a straight angle, and angle 1 and angle 2 are straight angles. Alright, so let's try to figure out this proof. First we got to understand the given information, so let's read it. Given, angle 1 and angle 2 are straight angles. We need to prove that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Alright, so our given was that angle 1 and angle 2 are straight angles. So let's look at our diagram and make sure we understand it. Alright, so both pictures look exactly the same. They both look like straight angles. So let's see if we can prove why angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So number 1, we have a blank and it's our given. So what was given to us, and since we need to pull from our answer bank, what was given to us was that angle 1 and angle 2 are straight angles. Alright, so I'm going to remove that from our answer bank because we just used it. Number 2, the measure of angle 1 is equal to 180 degrees. The measure of angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees. And we know that because of the definition of a straight angle. So definition of straight angle. So I'm going to delete that from our answer key. Number 3, the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 2. And that's because of the substitution property of equality. Number 4, we have a blank here, and that is usually what we put what we want to prove. So what we want to prove always goes last, and the given always goes first. Alright, so angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 because of the definition of congruent angles. Alright, so we use every bit of information in our answer bank, and we have completed this proof. Alright, so the last question on this page. Follow the plan to fill in the blanks in the 2-column proof. Given, the measure of angle 1 and angle 2 form a linear pair, and angle 3 and angle 4 form a linear pair. Alright, so angle 1 and angle 2 right here, they form a linear pair, and angle 3 and angle 4 form a linear pair. Now, if you don't remember what a linear pair means, we can go to our little cheat sheet, and where it says linear pair theorem says that if 2 angles are a linear pair, then that means they supplement one another. And if we remember, supplementary means that 2 angles add up to 180 degrees. Alright, so angle 1 and angle 2 are a linear pair, so they supplement each other. And angle 3 and angle 4 are a linear pair, so they also supplement each other. So we need to prove that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 4 equals 360 degrees. Our plan is that the linear pair theorem shows that angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary, again 180 degrees, and angle 3 and angle 4 are supplementary, 180 degrees. The definition of supplementary says that angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180 degrees, and the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 4 is equal to 180 degrees. We need to use the addition property of equality to make the conclusion. Alright, so let's look at number 1. Number 1 says the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2 form a linear pair, and angle 3 and angle 4 also form a linear pair. And we go back up here to the given. They told us that. So right here on 1A, we're going to write given. That was given information. Number 2, angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary, and angle 3 and angle 4 are supplementary. Again, we know that because of the linear pair theorem. Alright. 3, we have a blank, but it says the definition of supplementary angles. And the definition of supplementary angles says, and they gave us the information up here, what the definition of supplementary angle says right there. Alright, and that definition says that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180 degrees, and the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 4 is also equal to 180 degrees. Again, that's the definition of supplementary angles. So the last thing, the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 4 equals 360 degrees, and that is because of the addition property of equality. And I'm just going to write an equal sign for that. Alright? Thanks for watching.